This is Lorenz Atlas, and I will be talking about the contract law discussion. The first question I will be answering is a gift considered valid consideration in a contract? And the answer is hell no, because a gift is when you give something, but you're not expected to get something back. But in a contract, once you sign on down the line, you are expected to return the favor in all aspects like performance, etc. So in a contract, you are expected, both parties are expected to give each other something in return if both parties meet the performance. So that is why a gift is not considered a valid consideration in the contract. The second question is, what is the difference between a bilateral and unilateral contract? And the difference is a bilateral is for a promise. So both obligations of the parties are due in a bilateral contract. An example would be like if both parties, like I can't really think of one right now. It's tough. I got one. A bilateral is when you agree to give a baseball player like a signing bonus if he hits this certain amount of home runs, and the player promises to hit those home runs, like 40 home runs, and if you hit 40 home runs, the management would give you a signing bonus of $500,000 or something like that, and etc. If you hit 40 home runs, you get a final signing bonus of $500,000, and the management promised you $500,000 if you hit 40 home runs. So that would be an example of a bilateral contract. And an example of a unilateral contract is when one party's obligation is yet to be performed or promised for performance. So if you perform at a certain type of level, you'll get a certain type of money. And an example would be if you putting up like 25 points, 7 assists, and like 6 rebounds, you will be getting a nod, like a sonic bump, like a extra contract or something like that. So that will be an example of a unilateral contract. Is when one party isn't obligated to perform yet, I guess. And the last question is, what is the purpose and function of a waiver? Is it worth the paper it is written on? And the purpose and function of the waiver is to sign off on a document in case of a injury, something happens, and the management promises not to sue in case something happens to you during the course of the game, like an injury or something. A waiver is basically try to see what is the correct definition. It attempts to excuse or provide for party for injuries to a participant that arise out of nowhere, out of the known and unknown risk in the activity. So a waiver is when you, like I said, you basically agree to a contract, and if something happens to you, the management can release you any time that they want. And is it worth written on paper? And the answer is yes, because it is a legal contract that both parties are participating in and should sign in the right capacity, which means that both parties will I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but it is worth the paper it's written on. And I only know about this discussion but I think I should do more research on it. So, thank you for the discussion.